Hey, welcome back to another episode of Open Shutter. Another what's today? Wednesday, the Wednesday edition, and have the pleasure of welcoming Emily on the program all the way from Simcoe County.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on and doing this thing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how is Simcoe County these days?
Pretty good. I feel like
Yeah,
growing. I feel like more and more of it's I'm on the most northern end. So
yeah,
like I don't even like going past Barrie anymore. It's too busy and crazy.
yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. I mean, fall's coming, so it must be get pretty nice up there, no?
Yeah. The leaves are definitely already changing up here. Yeah.
Are they? Cool, cool. Well, thanks for doing this. For the people that are watching, listening, maybe just a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah. So I am Emily. I'm a brand and product photographer based in Simcoe County. And I mostly create content for small business owners, like local business owners,
Yeah.
for their websites and social media.
Cool, cool. So how long you been doing that for then?
That is a long and
I
complicated
love I love long I love long and complicated stories. They're my
um,
favorite.
so it goes that's basically from the start of my journey. I was in a totally different career, and I went on mat leave in 2019,
Hmm.
um, and kind of fell into the mom blogging world, just trying to find,
Right.
like, a community that way, and then I
Yep.
turned into a mommy influencer
Nice.
and picked up my camera, and I was like, maybe I'll start doing photography." And I did a little bit of family photography. I was like, I don't enjoy this. This is not my jam.
Yeah.
Um, and then because I was working with brands that way, I was like, why don't I do brand photography for like
Right.
the local businesses where I'm shopping all the time, who I'm
Right.
interacting with? Um, and it just kind of fell into place. But considering
Wow.
that was 2019, we all know what happened
Yeah.
right after that.
Yep.
So I kind of just took a step back because commercial photography was allowed, but I was like, I don't really want to be near people. I don't really understand what's happening right now in
Yeah.
2020. So
Yeah.
I had another baby instead. Um,
Right.
and then after, I guess late 2021, I really ramped up the business and started focusing on it. And then from 2022 and beyond, I've really been
Wow.
growing the brand photography. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. Just curious, what were you doing before? Like
Before,
what
I had 2 diplomas, one in ECE and one in child
Yeah.
development, and I worked
Cool.
in, early intervention, and with,
Yeah.
like, the preschool age kids.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just
Mm.
decided, no, this isn't I'm gonna change.
Yeah,
I'm gonna change
completely
careers.
different
Cool.
careers, not
Takes guts,
related
right?
whatsoever. Yeah.
Takes guts. I think a lot of people out there wanna kinda do that, and they wanna kinda transition into doing more of what they enjoy doing,
Yeah, for sure, and, like,
you know?
when we considered me going back to work, we ended up extending my mat leave, so before COVID came and started,
Yeah,
I was supposed to go back in February, and I ended up taking, like, 6 more months because we can, luckily here in Canada,
yeah,
take
yeah,
up to 18. So I'm
yeah,
like, "I'm just gonna delay it and see if we can kind of make it work." Because I think after working and daycare fees, I would bring home, like, 300 to 500 bucks a month, and I was
yeah.
like, "Can I make that mom blogging or with photography?" And
Right.
I was, so I was like, "There's no point in going back."
It's easier just well, I think that's a good way to, like, kinda justify the move
Yeah,
if you can make as what you're making with your other job, then yeah, it's more of an easier decision versus just blindly quitting someone's job and
for sure,
taking
yeah,
a
and
dive in the
definitely
deep end, but you have no idea, like, how it's gonna work out, so at least you kinda had a base to, like, work with.
yeah, and definitely now I'm making more than 3 to 500 a month,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, for sure.
um, yeah, it's definitely been
Interesting.
an adjustment and, like, risky, but lucky to have
Paid
a
off
supportive
though.
partner, and
Yeah, that's
it
important,
worked
eh?
out, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
important. That's important. Well, that's an awesome story. It's very, inspirational for people out there that kinda wanna do something similar, you know?
Yeah.
Cool, cool. So, like, what do you think has, like, got you your success in, like, a very short period of time, really?
Very short,
Mm,
yeah, it hasn't
very
been
short.
too long. I don't know if there's any one thing. I do a lot of learning being self-taught photography-wise, and then as a business owner that way, it's making a lot of connections, getting into a lot of rooms, networking, meeting people, and then also investing in myself, um,
Yeah.
to learn all of the things all of the time.
Everything all at once, everything like that movie, everything her all at once.
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
if
I
I've
just
seen that one.
imagine. Yeah,
Yeah, but then I also do think, like, all the learning I'm doing as a business owner, learning the marketing stuff, I apply that right back to the brand photography to help my clients,
right.
because you can't just get pretty photos for your brand and call it a day and they're gonna work and sell for you. You've gotta
Yeah.
have the strategy and the marketing plan behind the
Mm,
photos to what
mm.
stories are you gonna tell, how are you gonna use them, so I don't know, I do, like, an
Is that like your
extra.
sales pitch to clients when you
Yep,
pitch them? Is that kinda like what like kinda like separates you?
um I should say yes. I'm working on my messaging.
Yeah,
I was recently talking with a bunch of business owners at, like, a little meetup, and they're like, "Why aren't you saying that more on social media?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I guess
yeah.
I should."
Well, I guess it's hard for us, in terms of us being like artists or photographers or whoever we are, it's hard for us to talk ourselves up
Right? Yeah, and
sometimes.
then just, like, be like, "Am I
It's
really an
difficult.
expert, though?" Like, I don't wanna say I'm a
Yeah, you got
branding
that imposter
expert, but,
syndrome
like,
a
I
little bit.
have that but I do have all this knowledge, and that's what I apply when planning and helping them plan their sessions. But it's like, yeah, I've gotta maybe
Yeah, you
share
do
that.
have that though.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do. Well, we just chatted last week with talking about imposter syndrome, right? And how it's kind of
mhm,
like always there and you just always have to find a way to like manage it. And
always.
I think meeting with like-minded people is a great way to kind of like overcome that because at least you can kind of like engage with someone that's in a similar space because we all feel the same way at some points,
Oh,
right?
for
So
sure.
you
Yeah,
know what I mean. But especially when small business, you're running it yourself. Like there's just so much going on, like between photography
always.
and business and like all
Yeah,
the back end stuff. Like who knows what else is going on, right? So
exactly, yeah.
there's a lot happening there. So like how do you like just curious because for me like during COVID I work with like a lot of small business too and I based like my plan was to I just DM'd everyone on Instagram like all the
Mhm.
small businesses that I knew that were around me I just DM'd them and it was just a pure like numbers game. So like how did you attack like your client base? Like was it through Instagram or was it through more like other methods?
Yeah, I guess a lot of Instagram relationships. I don't love to, like, cold DM or anything like that. It feels very icky to me.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
Mostly just being in that, um, mom space of the
Yeah.
MLM cold messages that I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't wanna be that person.
Sure.
So I go the route of, like, focusing on building relationships first, getting to know them through their content, and then sliding into their
Okay.
DMs and, like, chatting that way,
Okay.
um, and then, like, kind of inviting them into my space after that,
Okay.
um, and then, yeah, just the networking in person and connecting.
Okay. So do you go see them in person first?
Sometimes I like to hit up local markets and shop, do a lot of shopping, and browsing and meeting them and kind of like tagging them and then starting that relationship before it
Yeah.
gets to like pay me big, give me money and I'll do
Yeah.
your photography type
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I
Exactly.
play a very long game, which
If it works,
yeah,
it works,
it
right?
works.
If it
Yeah.
works, if it works, it works.
Yep.
Like, I don't think there's a right way to, like, approach clients. I think you have to do whatever suits your personality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, whatever suits your personality is gonna work because I think I always tell people, like, people buy from people. Like, you could have the best work in the world, but if someone doesn't like someone, they're not gonna buy from you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's
A
a
lot of yeah,
person
it's a
thing, you
lot of
know?
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially those clients will keep coming back to you too, right?
Mhm.
Like, do they do like is it like, do they come back for like Thanksgiving and Christmas? Like, do they come back around those
My
kinds of
the
seasons too?
product-based businesses typically come back each time they have a new collection or season, I find. A lot of them,
Right.
like, basically every quarter or every summer, like, yearly. Really depends on if they change their products often, it's more
Yeah.
Otherwise, they tend to use the same photos over and over again.
Okay.
And then with like personal brands and service-based businesses, it depends on how often they use their images. If
Right.
they use them a lot and recycle them, they get bored, they want new photos.
Yeah.
If they don't post a ton, they really stretch it out.
Yeah. Interesting. Eh?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think of it from like a sales aspect. Like, oh, it's like Christmas is coming, Bob. Like, don't you need new stuff for like your Christmas window or something like that? Like,
Ideally,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Ideally, I would say quarterly
Yeah.
or at least seasonally, especially
Yeah.
you should have like summery outfit photos and like winter outfit photos and like
Yeah.
just so that like you're not posting in the dead of winter,
Yeah.
you in
The
a
beach.
t-shirt in like the green grass. Like no one's gonna
Right.
relate to that. Like you
No
gotta
one. Yeah.
yeah,
It's all timing, eh?
yeah. Or at least like making sure your photos are like evergreen that you can use them.
Yeah. Of
Like
course.
depending on budgets, right? It's really hard for small
Yeah.
business owners.
Who was your first client?
Oh, my first
Yeah.
client was a holistic health practitioner
Yeah.
that, to be honest, I did not overly understand her business. I still don't. Did
That's
not
just
stay on as a client repeatedly.
yeah.
I I don't even know if she's actually still in business either, so that could be part of it.
Really,
Um,
yeah.
I have no yeah.
How do you deal with the client? How do you deal with that? Like when the client doesn't even like the client can't really articulate what they want. And it's like, how do you even deal with that? Like,
Um, I feel like she knew what she want and I did deliver. I just didn't have a full understanding grasp at like what actually she was doing, and I don't know if it was like the alternative holistic healthcare
yeah.
that I'm just like right over my head.
I've worked with a couple people in that space. Yeah,
um,
I know how that is a little
and
bit.
I'm just and then I'm like, oh, maybe it's just like too woo woo for me that I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not picking up the straws.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, looking back, I'm like the editing. I was like, what was I doing? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 4.5 years. It's been a big
Exactly.
difference.
Of course,
Um,
you would hope so, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
Right. You
Yeah,
would hope that there would be a difference there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like I learned a lot. Like I've like my processes to figure out and learn each brand. I go a lot deeper than I did before, and it's not
Yeah.
even. I used to do like a whole questionnaire, and now I don't even send that. Like
Yeah.
I do a lot of internet stalking first to figure it
Oh,
out, and then just conversations with them more than
yeah. It
anything.
really helps, eh?
Mhm.
Actually
And
talk
like
to
I
the
know the questions now too, like immediately. Like I don't need to send like a whole questionnaire for them to fill out.
yeah. What's like the go-to question that always works for you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a go-to question. It's like kind of like this, like it's just a
Like,
conversation that
yeah.
like everything just comes
Yeah.
out.
Tell
Um,
me what you need. I need everything. Okay. How much is that? We'll talk.
exactly. Yeah, like I guess asking their vision, what they see and want out of the photos and how they're planning on using them. Um, I would say a lot of them have a small idea, but not a huge one that they're
That's what I
easily
find.
like they're easily guidable and like are
Yeah.
open to my opinions and ideas, and then that's where like sparks start flying and we go back and forth and like
Yeah.
narrow it down and figure it out
Yeah.
exactly
You
what they're
kinda have
actually
to kinda
needing.
get the yeah, you kinda have to get the ball rolling a little bit
Yeah.
for them to
Mhm.
kinda start to visualize because they're not really in our space, so they don't
Yeah,
really know how to sometimes visualize what they want. They just kinda know it in the back of their head. That's why I
exactly.
find a lot of clients, they know what they want, but they can't really say it because they don't know how to express it. They just kinda, "Oh, I feel like, you know, because gym down the street's doing this, so I kinda wanna do something similar," kind of thing.
Exactly. Yep.
Um, I had someone last week, they use mood boards for their clients.
I do. Yep.
Yeah,
And that's mostly um to show them that I we're on the same page.
right.
So I'll
Kinda
just
just show what everyone's
either
just telling, yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, this like, I explain it, but I'm like, I wanna give a visual just in case. I'm like, "This
Yeah.
is what we're thinking." I'm like, "This isn't, like, the shot list and the only things
Right.
we're gonna capture, but, like, this is the vibe we're going for. These are kind of, like, the shots I'm thinking." Sometimes, like, I'll compile, like, 5 different images together into one picture just to
Yeah.
be like, "This is what I'm thinking," just so that they can
Make sure
see what
you
I'm
see it.
seeing.
Yeah. They can't really read your mind, right?
Yeah.
It's a good point. I never thought about using mood boards before. That's a really good idea,
It's
actually.
handy. They all typically love them, and it really gets them excited, and then
Uh,
during the shoot, I like to bring it also, so that when I'm like, "Okay," I'm like, "I'm gonna set up this scene." I don't know, scene, I guess. Um, I'm like and then they're like, "Oh, yes. Okay, yes. I know what to like, I know what I wanna do for, like, these photos," and it helps them. It gets them calmer that they're not, like, overly thinking about I don't know what they're thinking in their photos.
yeah.
I hate my photo being taken, so I get, like, clammy and
Yeah.
anxious and just freeze, so, like, when I'm like, "Oh, yeah, just, like, do that," then it calms me
Yeah. You got to
down,
make
so I
them
feel
feel
like it helps
comfortable,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make them feel comfortable. I mean, it's always easier said than done because once that red light's on, it becomes different, just a person thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, what are you gonna do? It just you gotta kind of like roll with it. And
Yeah.
um, well, that's amazing, right? Like, you must be getting pretty busy then, eh?
Yeah, I like to keep my books kinda quiet. I right now, I only take 1 client a week on,
Okay, okay,
just for balance and just trying to not overwork myself.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So key,
yeah.
so
I
key.
would like to take on more, but then I'm like, I like my, like, chiller days.
Yeah, you're not working like 80 hours a week.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, as my kids are still young, so it's like
Yeah,
I've got a balance, and I have time to grow and
yeah.
expand and
Wow, that's great to
priorities.
hear.
Yeah.
It's great to hear. Yeah, because the last thing you want is to hate what you're doing,
Yep. Exactly,
which
yeah, and I've
it does
I've
happen,
found
right?
that burnout before where
Yeah,
it's too much, I'm working and I'm, like, not enjoying it, and I'm like, "Okay, how do I fix it? How do I bring
right.
it back to something I like?"
So then you told yourself to like scale the workload back.
Yep.
That's cool. So that one client a week is just like everything, like shooting, editing, delivering.
Yeah, so yeah, then it makes my turnaround pretty easy. Like I'll shoot once a week, send their like selection gallery over to them,
Yeah.
um, and kind of while they select, I'm then in the like the planning and shooting of the next one. So kind of
Okay.
like everything falls in line.
Staggered.
So like yeah,
Mm.
it's all staggered and like I don't get backed up in the editing queue that like
Oh man, what a
what
dream.
it's nice. I'm like, why would
What
I
a
wanna
dream. I
add
want to
more
live
to
your
this
life.
so
What
that,
is
like, I
this?
don't have, like, 5 galleries to edit
You
in a
don't get
row?
backed up in the editing queue? My God.
Sometimes I do if the clients don't select on my, like, planned like, select
Right.
their photos,
Right. Do you give them
on
like a
my planned
deadline?
timeline.
Or do you give them like a deadline to do this by?
There is, I think, in the contract, but
Yeah. Yeah.
do I enforce it? That's another question.
Yeah. What about do you ever have to go back and reshoot sometimes?
No. I typically follow up if they haven't selected, they're just like, "Yeah, I've seen them, I've looked at them, I can't decide yet," or, "I'm just
Right.
too busy,
Too busy, yeah.
I'll do it." Um, but yeah,
Interesting.
no, never that I have to reshoot, it's just that their plate is too full, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
they got so many things going on, right?
"Yeah."
Yeah. It's a constant like follow-up and say, "Hey, you
Mhm.
good? We good?" Yeah, I know.
And then I have some clients that I deliver it in within the same hour, they're like, "Oh, I've picked them," and I'm like, "That was
Dream clients.
fast." Oh, yeah, it's amazing, and I'm like,
Dream.
within days, I can have their photos back to them, which is handy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, eh?
It's nice. I really enjoy that. I'm like, "It's not gonna be like this forever, though," but then
Well, it's just, things that people don't think about when they try to run their own business, like, you're in
yep,
charge of everything, like, everything. So,
yep,
be prepared to do everything.
exactly,
And it
yeah,
becomes a grind too, right? Which I think, people that haven't done it don't really know that
Mhm.
extent of it, like how far like the rabbit hole goes, right?
So far, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a great story though.
Thank you.
Yeah. So like if someone asks you like what is like a brand photographer, like what would you say to them? Like what is it?
It I would say, at least for me as a brand photographer, if you are a business owner and you use photographic content
Yeah.
for your website, social media, I'm the one who does that for you. Instead
Okay.
of using stock images that aren't tailored to your brand and that anyone can use them, you're
Yeah.
using customized images that speak to
Yeah.
exactly your brand.
But you would think that they would want their stuff on.
You would think,
You would think that they want their stuff, not like stock or AI and all that stuff. You
yeah,
want your stuff. You want your cookies in like on the website.
yeah, you would think a lot don't see the need still, and I don't,
Crazy. It's
and
crazy.
it is, and I'm
It's
like, okay, you
crazy.
spent a ton of money on a website, and then you're just throwing stock photos in there, and I'm like,
It's
why,
crazy. Because you
why?
yeah, like, you don't
Mhm.
think your stuff is good enough to be on
Right? Like you're selling
that to
you,
me that to
sell
me
you.
what it that's what it sounds like to me. It's like you don't think your stuff is good enough to show because that's why you're in business, to sell
Right? Like
stuff.
showcase your store, your restaurant,
Yeah,
your I don't know, your office, and like people
yeah,
want to know before they get there what everything looks like. If it's just a
of course.
generic, I don't know, I'm thinking, I'm like, who haven't I worked with lately so that they don't think I'm talking about them.
Okay,
But like a massage therapist, like you don't want
right.
just like some flowery
No,
hands on a greasy body that like you see
no.
on every random massage,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
not greasy, but like oily body. Like you don't want that the one that everyone uses from
yeah,
whatever. You want like, like this is my space. This is how I make it
mm.
calm and soothing and like I don't know.
Don't you wanna
It doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense, it really doesn't. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like, you're not McDonald's, you need to show your stuff here, right?
Yep.
So,
I would 100% agree. And I
like
don't know if it's the cost that people don't wanna
yeah,
invest more in, but it's almost like
yeah, but it's gonna
I
pay
don't wanna
itself,
say
though.
yeah, yeah. I don't
It's an
wanna say you
investment.
have to invest in it to, like, make more money, but you almost do, and it's, like, hard because there's no metrics you can follow for that, like, ROI. You just have to
Yeah,
kinda trust. So that
yeah.
might be part of it, I don't know. I just wish everyone would invest in it, and it doesn't even have to be me, just do it.
Yeah, but please actually message Emily, though,
Yeah,
if you
but
actually wanna
exactly.
do
Like,
it.
yeah,
But,
for sure.
but if you wanna do it, just message Emily.
Yeah.
Um, wow. So, like, once you get the gig, like, how do you make sure, like, the brand comes through the images? Like, are there certain tips and tricks that you use to make sure that what's online is, like, the brand?
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
I make sure that, like, and that's part of, like, my whole deep dive of getting to know the brand, and then making sure, like, the images match that, and just really getting a good sense of the business. I
Yeah.
don't know, it's hard to explain my processes when they're so
Yeah. Well, because
just
it's really
in my
like
head.
once you, like, peel it away, like, bit by bit, there's quite a bit there.
There is so much
Like,
there,
when you
yeah.
actually, like, peel it all the way back, it's like, "Oh, I do all these things. Oh my god."
Mhm, there's so many.
But we don't
Yeah,
even realize it because it's just muscle memory, right? Like
exactly, yeah. I
like,
would say though, like, just it's probably all the marketing that I've been learning lately is getting to know their ideal client and who you're trying to speak to.
right.
And then when you're taking those photos, you're thinking of that. Like, um, one of my clients is a children's pajama clothing brand. So we're trying to talk to those moms that are buying clothes for their kids and wanting to just have the quality, but then also like what photos are going to stand out to them, like happy playing kids that look cozy and comfy is really what we're like striving for in a lot of those images.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Like
those are
these.
online. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very, very playful, right?
And we just did a second shoot
Nice.
a couple weeks ago. They're not really anywhere online yet, I don't
Yeah.
think. I think literally just posted one as like a reel cover on Instagram, but
Okay.
there might be a second one on there. That's about
Cool.
it. Yeah.
And how come the name Anchors Away? Like, what's the story behind that?
Um, I have a somewhat nautical obsession.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
I've always kind of lived near water, and then um, I don't know. I started collect not like I kept like being drawn to like anchors, and so I had like an anchor necklace and like clothing with anchors, and then all of a sudden everyone got me like anchor things for my house, and then anchors were everywhere.
Oh, really?
And then I ended up getting married at the lighthouse down the street from me.
Oh,
And
nice.
now I have a lighthouse tattoo. It's just kind of grown. So I figured I would
Cool.
just use that. Yeah.
Makes sense, though.
Yep.
Makes sense. Um, yeah, cool photo. Like, where's the best place to shoot up there? Outside of like
Um,
stores, I mean, like, is there like a nice park and stuff to?
I prefer studio shooting.
Okay.
Um,
What's like the go-to studio up there?
right now, it would
Yeah.
be Stanza Space in Elmville.
What's it called? Stanza Space?
Stanza. Yeah.
Stanza?
Yeah. Stanza Space.
Stanza Space.
I don't
Oh yeah. Let me see. Oh, why is this a co-working space?
Oh, that might not be the right one.
How do you spell it? Stanza? Like stanza?
Yeah, I'll send you their Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Check these guys out.
Yeah, we
Oh
just
yeah.
had a
Yeah,
turnover
yeah.
really of all the studios. A lot of them closed, and this one just opened, and there's another one that opened. I haven't been yet to know for sure. That's not.
That was the let's do these guys. Found it. Oh, God.
Correct.
So you do all your shoots in here mostly, if it's not inside the
Uh,
stores or whatever?
a couple. Yeah, I've done quite a few here recently because it's one of our only options rather than going all the way to the city, like the GTA.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
did recently just open my own in my house.
Oh yeah?
That's pretty customizable. Yeah, I'm sitting at the desk
See
option
that,
of my studio. Um,
yeah. Cool.
yeah, so
Convenient.
I'm hoping to shoot more in here, and then eventually maybe we'll open my own. It'll depend.
Convenience anyway, right?
Hmm.
Because at least with like your house, you can do whatever you want, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very blank canvas that we kind of just pull everything into what you
Yeah.
need. Like I've done like the desk and couch for a travel agent, and then we had
Mm,
that pajama company in again, and I took everything out and brought in like a bed instead and set up like a bedroom.
okay. That's
So it's
cool.
basically like we can create whatever you need.
Yeah. It's plug and play, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Plug and play. Cool. So do you focus on like certain gear like when you shoot?
Um, if I can do natural light, I prefer that. But
Yeah.
um, I'm really loving my what is this 71-inch umbrella with a
Yeah.
diffuser.
Nice.
It's been really great because it really does replicate that natural light look because the light is just so big and
Right.
spread over everything.
No.
Um, but yeah, I'll use flash if I have to and all
Yeah.
that.
Cool. Yeah, that's like another thing you have to learn is like lighting too, right?
Yeah, I took a course in it or
Oh,
like a
cool. On
workshop.
on in
Yeah,
person or online?
in person. Just like by another photographer, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
nice.
I need to learn how to do this, and then
Yeah.
trying to remember all the things is another.
Impossible.
So yeah,
Impossible.
I'm like, I'm figuring it out. It's working. I
Well,
wouldn't
the way
offer it if I wasn't confident in it, but like
yeah.
I just have to remember, I'm like, slow down and just get
Yeah.
it right.
I can't learn by watching, I have to do it.
Yeah, I have to just
I can't
do and
someone's
try.
gonna show me, like, I have to do it. I'm not gonna understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
So, like, driving a car, you kinda have to drive the car, like, know how to drive the car.
exactly.
You can't be
Yeah,
in the passenger seat because it doesn't really mean anything, but
yeah. In
everyone learns in their
theory,
own way, right?
yeah, in theory, I'm like, I understand it. Doing it is
Yeah.
another thing. Yeah,
Yeah, in theory, it looks all fine until, you're by yourself and you gotta figure it out, but,
yeah.
um, cool. So is there, like, a big, like, meetup culture up there? Like, do people meet up just to, like, talk photography or
There
art or
is a
whatever?
berry photographers group.
Yeah,
Um,
curious about that. Because Toronto's, like, crazy for meetups.
I wouldn't say that there's a ton. Sometimes, like, I find in the colder weather months,
Yeah,
they'll start getting together and getting everyone together, and then when summer hits, when everyone like, a lot of the photographers are family and weddings, so once they're in their busy
right.
season, but in the slower season, they're like, "Let's meet up, let's hang out, let's do content days,"
Yeah,
and then it
yeah.
kinda dwindles again until they'll be popping up again soon.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just a way to just get different ideas and new perspectives and just meet different
Mhm.
people, right?
Yep.
Just kinda keeps things fresh a little bit
Yeah,
because 'cause we're all kind of in the same boat, in one way or the other, but
exactly, yeah.
because it's like you never know who that person knows or what that person knows or whatever happens or just could be just simply become a friend, and that's cool too,
Exactly, yeah.
like
Yeah.
'cause it's like a really, like, lonely space, like, doing what we do. I mean, you're working with clients, which is a little bit
Mhm.
different, but in the end, it's just you doing it, you know what I mean? Like,
For
there
sure.
is no, like, team around you, just like, "Okay, gotta set it up, gotta deliver, gotta, like, follow up," and so it becomes a
Yeah,
little bit lonely, so I think the way to, like,
it does.
just meet other people just kinda keeps things kinda, like, flowing, but
Yeah. I set up networking events for
right. I saw the
any
one on
small business
Eventbrite.
owner. Yeah,
You got one coming up or
I
something?
do, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, so I partnered with a public speaking coach to
Cool.
deliver a public speaking workshop, to introduce yourself to and, like, just work on your
Cool.
public speaking, basically.
Really?
Like, so to introduce yourself when you're networking and when you're putting
It
yourself
sounds easy though,
in
but
that
it's
room.
not.
It's not. I don't
It's
enjoy
not.
it. As much as I, like, force myself to do it, I don't
Yeah,
enjoy it. I get anxious before that. I'm like, "If I can learn some tips to do it more confidently," and then the best part is that after the workshop portion, you have a networking period to then practice with everyone who's just there
right.
in the same shoes. Um,
I think this is a great idea. Was this your
yeah.
idea?
Um, no, it actually
Oh,
wasn't. It was Alexis, my co-host from Orchard Presents.
cool.
It was her
Okay.
idea. Um, she approached me, um, to do it, but workshops and stuff aren't new to me hosting. Um,
Yeah.
I
What have you
used to
done?
I used to host a conference called Build Your Brand. I hosted 3 of them, 2 a
Yeah.
year, and then I kinda just put them on the back burner for a bit, but they were geared to small business owners needing to learn all those things. Basically, everything I wanted to learn about business, um, I just started to I'm like, "I need to learn this, nothing's happening in this field to learn it. I'm gonna host a conference, reach out to my contacts, have them come in and teach it. I'll get to learn,
Yeah.
and other people get to learn side by side." Um,
Mm,
they were really for what they were, I would say they were really successful for someone who's basically a nobody right after COVID,
right.
um, hosting a full day conference with a keynote and 3 workshops.
It's cool.
Um, each of them had at least 10 attendees. Um,
Okay.
and I had people all the way from Niagara come all the way to Barrie to learn. So it was
Crazy.
really awesome that way.
Crazy.
Um,
You did 3 of those.
and I did 3 of them. I had a 4th planned and then um, canceled it.
You
I just wasn't
canceled
feeling
it.
it. That was where my burnout was, and I was like, "It's just not for me." So I took a break.
Uh,
Basically,
right.
it's been a full year since I've taken a break, and then Alexis was like, "Have you thought about hosting events?" I was like, "It's funny you mentioned that." I'm like, "I used to, and I've been debating doing it again. I don't know if I'll ever do a full day conference,
Yeah, a lot of
but
work, eh?
smaller workshops. Yeah, it's a lot of work to organize a full day lineup with value and
Right, the
food
value, because people
and
are
all of
paying
that.
money, right?
Yeah, and then also, like,
Yeah.
just the investing the money on it and hoping that I don't lose money in
Yeah,
return. I
right.
really liked the conferences though, and they were really, I'm sure if I brought them back, a lot of people would be
Well, yeah,
into
I think
them. But I'm like, there's so many conferences happening now too again that I'm like, there's other ones. But watching the connections made either with attendees or even like the speakers and attendees and seeing all the relationships over the last 2 years
yeah,
continue to bloom and blossom and see all that collaboration, I was like, it was so worth it. But I'm too tired.
well, who knows, maybe this could be the start of a whole new round of workshops, maybe
It could be, yeah,
with the
smaller
li
workshops,
smaller
tiny
ones,
ones.
but
Yeah,
well, I mean,
I'm excited to see.
I think people are looking to I think people just want platforms.
Yep,
I think whatever the platform is, could be on Zoom or it could be in person, could be whatever, but I think people just want a platform to, like, connect.
yeah,
And it could be
I
smaller workshops. I mean, I think people are into that too. It doesn't have to be like this monstrous thing.
right, bite size rather than
Could be
like
bite-sized, could be half a day, whatever.
mhm,
Could be on the weekend, could be on a Sunday or a Saturday, but
yep,
I think, from personal experience, I think people just, like, want a platform to do whatever.
mhm,
And for whatever reason, anyone can really organize, people can organize it themselves. It doesn't have to be an actual conference. It can be like a small meetup at a
yep,
coffee shop. It doesn't
mhm,
have to be like a conference to that extent, but I think some people are just waiting for someone else to provide the platform, if you
yep,
know what I mean.
for
So
sure, yeah, and
I
that's
think
why
there
I
will
had
always be
started in the
interest.
beginning because I was like, "I'm done waiting. I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, you
And
can't wait
then
around for people. That's what I mean.
yeah,
Like you can't wait. It's like, well, I want to do this thing, just do it and just see what happens.
mhm,
And then boom, people came out, right? So
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, and the first one and the second? The first one for sure. I had a company reach out to, like, sponsor part of the event, so that was really cool. I was like, "Sweet." So it's just really interesting to like, learn, and that was, like, a whole new learning curve too, but
yeah,
yeah.
it's another thing. It's another thing to
Mhm.
put on your resume.
Yep.
Organize a conference. Like, excuse me, tell me about that. Like what?
Yeah, it was a
That's
lot.
a whole other
It was
career.
scary.
Event planning. Like
It
what?
really is. Yeah, it really is a whole another something.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you keep putting yourself out there, right? I think that's also what's led to your success is that you're always putting yourself out there and just say, "Hey, I'm here. Let's see what happens,"
Yep. And, like,
which
what's
I
the
think
worst
is
that can
pretty big.
happen? No one comes, no one buys, try something else. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's that too, but I mean, there's always that risk of not. I
Yep.
mean, the worst thing to happen is nothing, but
Yep.
is it really the worst thing? You just pivot to something else. I think a lot of
Exactly.
people are afraid to like make
Try.
the first move. That's
Yeah.
why like I'm impressed by you just changing careers in itself is like,
Thank you.
hello, what? So I
Mhm.
think I think because you made that move, like all the other moves are not as scary because you already did the big one.
True.
Because that's a
Yeah, I
pretty big
haven't
one.
really thought about it. It just
It's a pretty
kinda
big
it
one. That's
all
a pretty big
happened.
one.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like risky in their own right, but they're not all as risky as the first move because you already kind
Mhm.
of got the first move out of the way.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to build upon that and see. I don't
Thank
know.
you. I
That's the
appreciate
way I
it.
that's the way I kinda
Yeah.
look at it a little. That's the way I would look at it and say, "Okay, well, I already did that, and, I'm still here, so let's see what happens."
Exactly. I love that. And I've never really looked back to think about it that way. I'm just like, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah. We
Yeah.
never look back, though. We're
Right?
always kinda, like, chasing the
Always
next
looking
thing or
ahead. What's next?
chasing the
Yeah.
next whatever, and we never look back, right? So, like, for me, like, I always try to, like, remind myself, "No, like, you did this, so you can, like, do that." So, you kinda have to be, like, your own cheerleader and just kinda, like, keep pushing.
True. Yep.
Because like I said, it becomes like a lonely space sometimes. So you need to constantly remind yourself to like, no, no, I got this. I'm good. Let me do my thing. I'm good. What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, life moves on.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Agreed.
Hopefully, if people listening, watching, hopefully that helps someone out there. Who
Right?
knows?
Hopefully. I hope
Who knows?
so.
You never know. To me, it's
Mhm.
like you never know who's watching when.
That's right.
It
Yeah, you
becomes
don't
like
know.
a pure timing thing. To me, it's
Mhm.
all like timing. Like you never know who's watching when or who's like looking at your website and needs something, or it
Yeah.
just takes like one hit, you know. But you need to like be like kind of like be in like that energy of like putting like your energy out there. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
Very true.
kind of like positive stuff, but
Yeah.
because in the end, it's all like it's a people thing too. So people kind of like feed your energy and say, okay, I like Emily, she's cool. Let me work with her,
Yep.
and then you're
It'll
off
be
the races, right?
Yep.
So who's like your dream client? If you could pick a dream client,
Oh, I don't even
anybody in the world, we'll say the world. Keep it
I
simple.
don't know. Yeah. I don't know if there's a dream client. There's definitely some, like, brand types I would love to work with. Um, I'm definitely too scared
Cool.
to go for, like, major brands still. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know if I have a dream. I just really like working with, like,
Yeah.
badass women, I would say, for the most part,
Yeah.
that are,
Sure.
like, similar to me, that, like, they've put their all into their business and they're just rocking
Yeah.
it and just
Yeah.
keep elevating themselves.
Okay.
And, like, I don't know, just, like,
Cool.
their energy feeds me, and then we just, like, feed
Exactly.
back and forth, and then it's just and, like,
Exactly.
knowing that I can just be a part of their journey and, like, help them get
Yeah.
to their next step, and then it's just I don't
Yeah.
know,
And they help you,
it's
and they
fulfilling,
help
yeah,
you, and you help them. Like, it's a true partnership, right?
yeah,
Which is super cool. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I guess that's hard to pick one, right? Like, I
mhm,
guess like the dream clients are always changing too. Like you kind of like, you kind of change the person and his business, and you kind of like want to like reach like new goals and new milestones. So
yeah,
it's never really static, I guess.
yeah, I guess, like, one day, like, I would love to not like, be, like, I guess, the brand photographer for, like, a household brand, which, I mean,
Yeah.
I've had my work featured, like, on OtterBox and stuff like that
Right.
as, like, an influencer, but then, like, going from the other end where I would be, like, I don't know, I can't think of a brand, but, like, I don't know, I don't want them to hear it either. Like, just, like, a household brand to be like, "Yeah, I'm the one who did that shoot, and, like, all of my images are, like,
Yeah.
everyone's seeing them all over the world." I would love for that
That's
to happen,
cool.
but there's a lot of imposter syndrome for sure that I would have to get past to do that, and I feel like I'd have to I don't know, I feel like I have a lot of levels to get before I
Yeah.
can do that, which it could
You
be
see
not be
yourself on
true.
like a billboard by the highway, like, well, that's mine. That's me.
Yeah, like, that would be amazing, but then also, like, terrifying.
Imagine.
One day,
Um, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't think imposter syndrome really goes away. I think just something that we have to manage,
right?
just constantly
Yeah.
managing it. And I said this the other week, like I think even like the top people still have it. Like I don't think
I bet,
I would
yeah.
love to interview like the top photographers, the top, you interview like top actors, whatever. I'm sure,
Mhm.
even like Cillian Murphy, I'm sure he has it. You interview him, I'm sure he has it. Like
Right?
guy
Yeah,
just won
I'm
an
sure
Oscar,
everyone does in some way or another.
you know.
But yeah, it's letting it not stop you
Yeah.
is the other thing, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to manage it somehow.
Mhm.
Um, well, hopefully you do get that. Hopefully you do get your stuff up there.
Yeah.
Maybe broadcast in space. Oh, look, that's me in space. Oh, imagine.
Oh, that would be crazy. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nuts? Um, so what are like some trends right now
Oh, uh-oh.
going on, like brand photography? Are there like trends going on? Like, are you doing like video too, or just photos?
I don't really do video. I'll, like, provide B-roll, um,
Yeah,
but
you're not doing
not
the reels or anything.
uh, not really. I find it too hard to, like, jump back and forth between the 2. Um, that's cool.
That's true.
Sorry,
Jessica's
got
right.
distracted.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so I find it too hard to remember to film video and take the photos at the same time.
yeah,
I'll
I know.
throw
It's
my phone
confusing.
on a
I know.
tripod and like time lapse everything. And I'm like, that's your B-roll if you want mine. But I'm also using it for me.
Got it.
I encourage them to either do it themselves during their shoot or hire someone else or bring like a
Ah,
secondary like assistant or someone to do it.
yeah.
Um, I just find it easier. Like me switching back between 2 different devices and then trying to
Yeah.
remember everything we're supposed to capture. I'm
Right.
like, I'm going to mess up your shoot. We're gonna miss something. Hire someone else.
You're so
Have a second
honest.
person. Yeah. Well,
You're so honest.
yeah. Yeah. I like
You're not scared of losing the client or anything, eh? You just tell
no,
us.
but like I don't know. I'd rather
Good though.
be trustworthy and look out for their best
Yeah.
intentions versus being, "Oh, yeah, I can do this," and say talk the talk and then not be able to walk the walk, and then that
Yeah.
comes down on me. So I'd rather
Yeah.
just be like, "Listen, this is what I can do. I know people who can do the other parts."
Right.
Yeah.
It's good though, to be honest.
Yeah,
It's a reputation thing too, right?
exactly, and then
It's a
they
reputation.
appreciate you a little more, and just I don't know.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
trust you.
Yeah, the trust is a big thing.
I trust you. Let's do
Thank
business.
you.
Done. Boom. Um, okay, so yeah, the trends. So yeah, so like what like
Oh,
some
yeah,
like some
trends
big
was the
trends going on.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, it really depends. I don't this is, like, I don't love to follow trends so much.
No way.
I want you to be authentic to who you are, who your brand is. I don't want you to be doing the exact same thing that all the other
Mm,
people are doing because they're doing them. Um,
good one. Good pitch. I like that pitch.
because then it's
That's a
not
good one.
you. And then what is your like, what makes you stand out? What makes you different if we're doing the exact same thing as everyone else,
That's a good
right?
pitch.
And that yeah.
Good one.
Right? Like,
Tell me more. Tell me more.
it's just I don't know, like, we're selling your brand, we're not selling
Yeah, like what
Jen's
makes you
and everyone
unique?
else's,
What
right? Like, yeah, you gotta be
what
unique, and it comes back down to, like, I'm in a program for my business plan. So it's
yeah,
like, well, what is your value proposition? What makes you different? Like, why are you
right,
standing out?
right. I also find it's like the story behind the business sometimes too.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
why
the
did you even
whole
start this
yeah,
business in
the
the first
why.
place?
Like, why are you doing it?
Yeah, like what
What's
is
the
it?
reason that they're doing
That to
it?
me,
Who
I think
told
is
us
the story
mhm,
because everyone can have like a clothing shop on Main Street, but like, why did you start your clothing shop? Well, maybe because your mother was a seamstress or something, and I don't know, who knows? But
yeah,
if you get that story out, I think that's what really separates a lot of people.
mhm,
It's not about the money. It's not about like it's like, oh no, I truly love, whatever, knitting sweaters, whatever it is. Okay, maybe that's it. Because you
yep,
knitted sweaters since you were 10 years old. Who knows what the story is?
yeah,
It's
it's
not
a
even really about the
yep,
product. It's really about the person to me.
mhm. The why you're selling it and the
Why?
why you want yours to be out there in the world and what makes yours different
Yeah.
and, like, the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely
Yeah. I
agree.
think that's if you can get that out, I think that really goes a long way sometimes.
Mhm,
Because the story could really blow your mind. It's like, whoa, okay, I didn't see that coming.
yep,
I'm just speaking from personal experience too. Like when I work with all those small business, like some of the stories is like, okay, this is next level stuff.
yeah,
They don't even put this on their website. You should put this on your website because this is a crazy story you just told me.
right? Yeah, yeah, it's true.
But I
Yeah,
guess people don't like talking up themselves for for the reasons that we discussed. But it's key though. Trust, very very important.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. So what's like the advice that you would give for people that want to do something that's in your neighborhood? Like, do you have any advice, like in terms of just starting out?
Like, as a brand photographer?
Well, yeah, I guess we'll just use brand photography.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, what advice would I give? Oh gosh.
Yeah. If someone had like
Um,
no clients, like how would you get them to get their first client?
yeah, I think that goes back to the building the relationships and just not even, like, offering your services for free. I don't love
Yeah.
that, being like,
Yeah.
I'll do this for free for the exposure and whatnot, but
Yeah.
just getting to know you most likely know someone in business.
Yeah.
Chat with them and just see where they're at for their photography, if they already have someone or not, and just get to know
Mm,
them, and maybe they'll give you a shot or they'll know someone. Yeah, it's just really
mm.
building that relationship, and sometimes you just have to, like, ask and be like, "Have you ever thought about doing this?" And just see if they take a chance on you too, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard though when you don't have any like work when you don't have any like
yeah,
work
when
to
you don't
show
have any
them.
work
Like
to
when you don't have
show,
anything to show, it's like,
it
well,
is
who are
hard.
you? You know what
I
I
would
mean?
hope
Like,
that you have some sort of photography portfolio, whether it's
yeah,
okay. So when I didn't have work, I would set up fake product shoots,
exactly.
um, and, like, play around that
At
way
home,
and
right?
at home and
Yeah,
just and then give advice even, like, I was giving advice on, like, DIY product photography
yeah,
and personal branding, like, your own photo, like, self-portraits, basically, to show that, like, I know my shit. Can I
yeah,
s I don't know.
yeah. Sure.
I'm like, "Can I?"
Go
I
for it.
was
Let it all out.
okay, yeah. I know my stuff. Like, I can show you the difference between a good and a bad photo from my phone and from my own camera, and,
Yeah,
like, just because this product is the random I don't know, random candle that I have, I can do that for your product too, you know? So I think it's just yeah, just keep practicing when you don't have clients and
yeah,
ask friends to model for you and just figure it
yeah.
out,
It's huge.
and then just start reaching out and building those relationships.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I would do too. Just like make your own portfolio.
Yep, that's
To me, it's like pretend you have the job. So what are you gonna
yep,
do? Pretend you have
exactly.
it, and then see what you can come up with.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah,
and that's I transferred, like, a lot of
yeah,
my content creation from the mom blogging to, like, this, and then I
right.
had friends who were also, like, in the same space, and so I helped them create their content, so
Yeah,
like, that was my portfolio to begin with until I got
yeah, yeah.
clients.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Leverage the people around you, right?
Mhm, and then I did offer, like, some friends and family that, like, have businesses, I'm like, "Can I just, like, wander around your business for the day taking photos, and, like, I'll give you some?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, like, I don't
Yeah,
care."
are they gonna say no to that? They're gonna say no
Right?
to that? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Right.
and they're just
Yeah,
handy, and then I was like, I got to, like, just play around and, like, see what kinda
yeah,
works and
yeah,
add some more to
yeah,
my portfolio, and it's not like I was there to, like, deliver anything specific to them, I just got to, like, hang out, like, I hung out in, like, one of my extended friends, like, hair salon for the day and really love
beautiful.
those photos. I'm like, I would
Nice.
love to do it again now with, like, my updated gear and
Yeah, yeah,
knowledge.
yeah.
Um, there's a dream client.
There you go. Put it on the list.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Wow. Goes to show you, like, you can't just wait around for something to happen. You gotta
Gotta
go
make
make
it
it happen
happen.
somehow.
Mhm,
Because no one's gonna be knocking on doors at the start. Like, you gotta go out there and knock on the door, right? So
mhm, yeah.
I think sometimes people have the illusion that people are just gonna like start knocking on your door once you like pick up a camera. It's like, no, not
Not
really.
really, there's a lot of us out there, but
There's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, like, what really helps me, I do like to shop and support local a lot, so I'm in a lot of,
Right.
like, the little downtown
Yeah.
shops around Simcoe County and the markets, and, like, I get
Yeah.
friendly with them, and then that like, they know me, so that helps. And
Beautiful.
then, like, the word of
It's
mouth
great.
on top of that, yeah.
Yeah. Just chatting last week about like word of mouth and how it's so powerful.
It
Really.
can be for sure, yeah, because I
Yeah.
think
It's very
one
powerful.
client I got who ended up being a repeat client, she put in, like, a Facebook group, and someone
Beautiful.
recommended me, and I'm like,
Beautiful.
"I don't even know anyone in that area." I'm like, "Who?" She's like, "I can't find the post anymore," but I'm like, I would love to know who because I'm like, I still don't know, and it's been, like, 2
Yeah.
years.
Oh wow,
I'm
really?
like, "Cool." I'm like, "Whoever recommended you, great."
What a dream.
Mhm.
Because people don't want to spend time searching for people to hire. They just want to get like
They
a
want to
recommendation from someone they trust, and okay, let me talk to Emily
exactly. Yeah.
because they got no time to like hunt for people.
Yeah.
Mm,
Though I have had some random like Google searches
yeah.
transfer into clients. I was like, "How'd you find me?" They're like, "Google." I was like,
Oh, nice.
"My
So you got a good
SEO
SEO.
worked."
You got a good SEO then, eh?
I guess. Yeah. I'm like, which is yeah. My website is just
Did you make your own website like
yeah.
yourself?
It's just like I have it on even just Pixie set. Like it's not
Yeah,
anything
but
crazy.
you did it all like SEO though.
Yeah. Um.
Damn,
Yeah. And
nice.
I guess it worked. I'm like, cool. It actually does something.
So do people just Google brand photography Simcoe?
um.
Like what are they googling?
I don't know. She must have like brand or she was a product, so product photography.
Photography Simcoe County.
Yeah, she might have even done like Aurelia or Muskoka because I have those in there too, and
Yeah.
they're a Muskoka-based business.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, good. SEO is not easy.
it's not. Yeah, I don't
No.
know. Like, I don't know. It might be pretty niche too. There's not a. I don't think there's too many of us that would utilize SEO, and there's not a lot of brand specific photographers up here.
Yeah.
That it might be easier for me to rank, but
Yeah.
it worked regardless. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Ta
Right?
take it and run, right?
Hmm.
I would. I would.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's like a big challenge happening right now for you in the business? Is there like a big challenge that you're trying to overcome that you
Um,
can talk about?
a big challenge. I'm taking unofficial time off from shooting these September and October.
Okay.
I was accepted into the small business program to
Congrats. Congrats.
write a business plan, and I have the opportunity of like a grant at the end if I pitch and I'm
Ah,
successful. It's
congrats.
competitive. It is an Ontario-wide program.
What is the program?
Starter Company Plus.
Okay. You had to
So
apply for it?
you have to apply and then do the work and pitch. So nothing's guaranteed. So I'm just
Cool. But you have a
kind of
chance though.
I have a chance. I'm focusing on that and trying to build into that. But yeah, any small business center in Ontario most likely runs it different times of the year.
Oh,
Um,
cool. That's exciting.
it's exciting. So I'm just trying to focus on that. And then I got into some random incubators as well. So I've just filled a lot of my time with learning. Um,
Jeez.
but like, I want to up my marketing, my messaging, all of that, and then figure out a real plan for the business to reach those goals that we kind of talked about
Uh,
before and narrow in on
cool.
them. So yeah, I'm trying to focus on that and
Damn.
accepting that I'm not shooting, but I'm still working. I think
Right.
that's I'm working
So what are
on
you
instead
doing
of
then? What are you
in.
doing when you're not shooting though?
Just like all the back end,
All the back end
like
stuff.
all the back, like writing the business plan and then implementing all this
Mhm.
marketing knowledge and like the copywriting and the messaging and all of that, so that I can
Yeah.
actually bring in consistently clients, which I have been anyways, but like
Yeah.
quality clients and all of that.
Right. Yeah. It's important to have quality clients too,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
And
yeah.
then maybe raise my prices some more again.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So when are you gonna know if you got it?
I think in November I find out.
Oh, so quick.
Kind of. I
Soon.
submit everything at the end of October, and I think you find out at the end of November. So it'll
Okay.
be a
Well, good luck.
long,
Hopefully
anxious
see a
month.
post with 2 thumbs up saying, "Got it."
Yeah,
That'd be
hopefully.
sick.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's
That'd be sick.
29 of us, and only 17 will get up to the 5K that they're offering.
So a pretty good chance though, no?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I have to beat out like 12 people. I can do that.
You can do that easily.
Yeah, as long as I can get my thoughts into coherent sentences, we'll be good.
You
Yeah,
can just use chat GPT for that, no?
a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to rely on it too
You don't
much.
wanna rely on too
Yeah,
much. You wanna double check that real quick
exactly. Yeah,
before you send that off.
for sure. Yeah.
Um, well, hopefully you get it. That'd be sick.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. So, like, where do you want the business to be in, like, 2 years, you think?
I don't know yet.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, I want to. I guess I guess just, I don't know, bigger in a
Bigger,
way. So
better.
I'm gonna have to take on more than one client a week.
Would you hire a team though? If you got bigger, would you need to hire other people on board though?
I don't know if I don't know where I would like to relinquish control.
Yeah, it's hard for us
I want to do the shooting.
creators.
I want to do the editing.
Hard for us to relinquish control.
So yeah, maybe like
hard.
the back end work I'd like outsource, like
Right.
advertising and like a
Yeah.
real website, like stuff like that. Not a
Yeah.
real, like my website's still real, but like better CEO and all of that.
Got
Like
it.
just
Got it.
like the small improvements and maybe like a VA to like handle like
Yeah.
the booking a little bit more and like the back and forth stuff.
Okay,
But
that's fair.
yeah, I don't think I'd want a team to have like associate photographers doing it for me because then it's not
Yeah.
me. It's not
Because
my work.
it's your name on at the end of the day. It's your name on the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
want the work to be A+.
Yeah, because someone's like, "Why don't you just like outsource your editing?" I was like, "No." And they're like, "What?" They do it like in the exact same way you want it. They create these presets. I was like, "Yeah, but every shoot is different. You
Yeah.
can't just apply a preset." Like,
Can't apply a preset on that.
no, because I can't even apply a preset from like one photo to the next half the time.
Right. Yeah. No, I
Like
know. It's hard.
lighting changes, everything changes, and I was like, "Okay, how
Mhm.
I edited this, and I can't just copy and paste it to the next one, and it looks the
Mhm.
same." Like I'm like, I still gotta make those adjustments, and I'd
Yeah,
rather just
I know. Can't let I know. I'm the same way. You
right.
can't let control. I'm the exact same way as you. I would do the same way that you would. Just get rid of all the back end stuff.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
And like if that's the part of the job I like
Of course.
someone else is doing it for me. What am
Yeah,
I
I don't
doing?
want to do I don't want to do admin.
Right? No.
I don't want to do admin stuff.
Mhm.
That's why I left my other job. I don't want to do this. Look, now I'm doing more of it. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's hard for us to let go of control.
It's hard and I don't wanna. I actually last year for a bit I half opened a full-on branding agency. I had copywriter contracts and
Oh yeah.
web and graphic designer contractors
Okay.
and had a client come in and I realized like I didn't love the whole team and like delegating and like managing everyone. I was like,
You were the boss, right?
yeah, I was the boss. And I was just like,
Yeah.
nah. I'm like, one client's good. I tried
Yeah.
it, didn't love it.
Wasn't for you.
Yeah, it's just not for me. And I'm like,
Cool.
I would love to like work and collaborate with those people on like projects, but like
Right.
not be the one in control and
Yeah.
all of that. Like I'd love to just pop in, be on the
Yeah.
team, and then
No, I
like
get it.
pop
I
back
get it.
out.
Yeah, because you want to make it like a job where
Mhm.
like there's boss and hierarchy and like reporting to and
Exactly.
where's your TPS report today? Like, okay, like,
Mhm.
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
That's exciting though. My God, you're doing all these crazy things up there.
Yeah.
Sickle County. Who knew?
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, we're kind of up against the hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time
That's
tonight.
okay.
So I just wanted to say thanks for jumping on this thing, fitting this thing
Thanks
into
for
your
having
sched.
me. Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Did you want to leave people with any final words, advice,
Oh,
feedback?
off the top of my head, I've got
How's
nothing.
podcast life? Would you ever do a podcast?
I've it's been in my head. I think
Yeah.
I'll start talking more on podcasts, I think, and speaking, but I don't know if I'd do my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who
I
knows?
feel like there's not enough to say to like have a regular occurring podcast. I've thought about maybe like those private podcasts that people are doing now for
Mhm.
like their funnels, which like there's like 5 short episodes to like
Yeah.
bring people in.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's probably all I could talk about. I'm like, I don't know if I could talk for once a week on something. And then I don't know, it just seems like a lot more work for right now.
Bad client stories. That'd be a great podcast.
Yeah. I have a couple of
Just
those.
leave the client name out. Maybe be good.
Yeah. There's like one area of Simcoe County that I'm like, I just refuse to accept another client from because they all
Oh,
seem to
really?
be
It's
problematic. Yeah.
off the grid for you?
Yeah. And I'm like, no more. No more from that town. No thanks.
Really?
I
A
just
little drama.
and I don't even know, like, they're all very different. They were all at very different times, but yeah, I don't know. I'm like, every
Hmm.
time my only issues have been in a client from that town, so I'm like, it's closed.
Interesting. Little drama over there, right? Little
Yeah.
drama. Cool. Well, that's one. Thanks again for jumping on, Emily.
No
And
problem. Thank you
people,
for having
let's
me.
see, go check out, if you're in the Simcoe County, make sure you message Emily if you need some brand photography.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed. Best place is to contact you off Instagram or through your website.
Yeah, Instagram, website, both of those. Yeah, work. That's about it where you can find
Yeah.
me. Sometimes go on Threads, but it's kind of
Threads.
chaos
Yeah.
over there.
Everyone's on Threads these days. Everybody,
I
the
mean,
entire
that's where I
world.
found you, but
Yeah, the entire
that's
world's
more of
on
my
there
like
now.
unfiltered thoughts.
Yeah, everyone's selling something on Threads, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of
It seems
pivoted right now. And somehow I'm
everyone's
on
got
like author threads and I'm like, how did I get here? I don't want to be
yeah.
here.
Yeah, everyone's selling something on there. It's like, okay.
Hmm.
See where that platform goes the next couple of years, right? But
Yeah, if it'll even last
we'll
very
see. We
long.
shall see. The future of
Yeah.
social media, who knows?
Yep.
Well, anyway, this podcast is going to live on, so that's going to be good news.
Sweet. Yeah.
And anyway, thanks everyone for watching, listening. Go check out Emily, and we shall see you next time. Peace.